Good morning, folks. I thought I'd give you a overview, as it were, of the syllabus as well as some of the functionality on Blackboard, where to find things, etc., etc. So first thing, we want to go over to syllabus, right? Click on the syllabus. Okay, so the primary concept that I want to get across to you is effort-based or labor-based grading and how that's going to work in this class. I mean, I assume, of course, that everybody is going to read the syllabus, and then if you have questions about the syllabus, as with any assignment, etc., you will then, what I'd like for you to do is anytime you want to get in touch with me, you would contact me via this number right here via text, okay? And then alternatively via email. If you need to communicate with me more directly, say via Zoom, for example, we can make an arrangement. We can make arrangements for that, such that I can be on Zoom at a particular time to connect with you. And obviously, this is not our syllabus. This is a syllabus from another class. And I apologize for that, but our class is online asynchronous. It is not in Classroom Hall. It is asynchronous, okay? So it is online asynchronous. As the syllabus actually in your on your Blackboard site will show you, okay? So, but this is otherwise identical with a couple of minor changes, but the main thing is that I want to get across here is the idea of effort-based assessment or labor-based grading, okay? So there's some key concepts here that I want to get across. First of all, everyone begins the class with an A, right? You've heard that concept before, I'm sure. So the concept that you need to get across really is complete versus incomplete and late assignments. So an assignment is considered complete if it meets the minimum parameters of what is being asked for. So for example, if I'm asking you for a reflective essay, what I am asking you for is that what you're writing is reflective in nature, obviously. So reflective denotes two primary qualities, one of which is specificity, i.e. detail, and the other is meaning. So in other words, instead of telling me you thought something sucked, for example, you would then tell me, why it sucked, okay? That's just a rudimentary example of that, okay? Another point here, no late work is allowed after the 14th week of the course, okay? So don't worry about attendance in this course. Attendance, obviously, this is asynchronous and online. So attendance is not a factor per se. You are required and expected to turn in everything on time. Okay? So, for example, most assignments are due Saturday before midnight, okay, so going into Sunday, and so you would be required to turn that stuff in on time to receive complete, and that ultimately also, because of the asynchronous nature of the class, functions as your attendance. So I want you to understand these concepts. So these numbers here, which you will see on Blackboard and you will see me refer to and hear me refer to in various videos and whatnot. All right, these numbers are emblems, right? They're symbols. They are not numbers to be added, subtracted, etc., on Blackboard. If Blackboard would allow me to put emojis, I would put emojis. Blackboard does not, so I don't. But if you see a 0, it means you have ignored the assignment. You didn't even look at it. I have no evidence of you looking at it, so on and so forth, right? And I will not zero anything out, really, until after late work is no longer permitted. So a 0 is a letter grade, plain and simple, right? What this means is anything you do not turn in is in effect a letter grade. So the key point here, and please understand this from the onset, is that you really need to turn everything in. If you turn everything in on time and complete, you will achieve an A in the course. That's, there's no easier way to put it, right? Now, a late assignment is defined as an assignment that is turned in after the designated due date. Now, does that mean if the assignment is due at 11:59, if you turned it in at 12:02, that I'm going to count it late? No, that doesn't necessarily mean that. Now, if you turn it in 12 hours later, yeah, probably. Okay. Now, an incomplete assignment means that you turned it in, but that the assignment did not meet the minimum parameters. And let me speak to that for a moment. That means, for example, given the example of the reflective essay again, if that essay is supposed to be 2 pages, it needs to be 2 pages, okay? And someone last semester, told me, I've never had to write a paper over 1 page. First of all, I don't know how you get out of high school not having to write a paper more than 1 page. But anyway, she had said she never had to write a paper of 1 page. How do you do it? I said, you do it by doing it. You do it by doing it. What that means is that the first couple times you do it, you may not be satisfied with the outcome. You may not, but you get better through practice, right? And through doing something, you begin to hone your skills, etc. It's just like it's metaphorically or analogously. It's like if you are learning a sport, for example. The first time you go out and do something, you may not be the best, but you practice and you practice and you practice, etc. Right? So the way that you write 2 pages is you do it, right? Don't worry, because in this course is assessed based on your attempt, the quality of your attempt. So even if the outcome, particularly on initial assignments, looks crappy, okay, it doesn't matter. What matters is the attempt, okay? So again, let's go down here, and it just reiterates what I've told you, okay? Again, pay very close attention to this part of the syllabus. This is also key too. I will not accept Pages or Google Docs, okay? As A&M San Antonio students, you all have access to Microsoft 365, so technically speaking, no one should have any excuse not to do their work in Microsoft Word. And if you must do it in something else, you can render that as PDF, okay? I'll just let you at your leisure go through this stuff. one point here that's important. I will not drop you, okay, unless you initiate the drop. I will not drop you, okay? And you can go down through your syllabus on your screen. Now again, this is not you guys' syllabus, this is another class. You're not going to have this reflection due this second week because we're essentially starting a week behind, which is actually okay because we actually have an additional week in the term. But anyway, and if you'll note on Blackboard, I have opened up everything through spring break. So the first 10 weeks of the term are already open, okay? And let's look real quick at just some of the layout of stuff, okay? So we'll get out of Microsoft Word. We'll come over here. I'm just gonna, oh well, I'll do that later here in a minute. But if we come over to course documents, that's what I'm looking for, or course content, sorry, they changed the name of it, course content. And we look, and we see here, so you look back, let me go back here for just a second. So you see that each week has basic instructions, right? And it tells you kind of what we're doing that week. So if you look in here, you don't even have to worry about week 1. That's not for you guys necessarily. Week 2 is where we are now. Okay, you go in here, you'll see the videos that I'm asking you to look at and the essays that I'm asking you to look at. Okay, particularly pay close attention to this essay, Storytelling, Narration, and the Who I Am narrative, because it's going to figure in very significantly with the Who I Am narrative assignment sheet. Okay, and but that's kind of the layout for everything. Now, when you get to, in your case, week 3, you'll have your first reflective essay due. This kind of explains the rationale of what the reflective essays are asking. That's also in the syllabus itself for you to look at. But when you're ready to turn it in, you would go here. You would click Browse Local Files, and you would actually add your PDF or your Word document, okay? Now, say for example that you are out sick or something like that, or something happens, and you know ahead of time that you're not going to be able to turn in your material, right? Say for example, it's Wednesday and you know for whatever reason that you're not going to be able to turn in your material by Saturday. Please contact me then via text and let me know what's going on. I will tell you, okay, when you get ready to turn this in, please, in the comments section of the submission page, type that we spoke about this, okay? And what that will do for me is it will jog my memory and say, oh yeah, we did talk about that, and I will not then count your material late when you turn it in late, okay? That being said, it's better to get your stuff in sooner than later, and no late work is allowed after the 14th week of class. Now, that gets me to one other thing. That is, when you text me, please indicate your name and indicate which class you are in, because I don't save student numbers. Although that particular text number that I showed you, that is only for students. But still, I don't save student numbers because that's kind of creepy. So anyway, let me know who you are, and let me know, which class you're in and so forth. Okay, I'm going to end this video right now, and I will communicate with you later. All right, have a wonderful week. Thanks.